Hi my lovelies. So here I have created my new journal, which we are going to go through, and I put together just a little thank you, and I've made it as cheap as possible just to thank you further. And there's also a 50% discount, a huge pack of papers, just in case you didn't know where to start and you wanted to make a blue denim journal just like this one. And that's its cover. And then I have scanned my textile as well that I've done, and I have then put together my hand-dyed papers, a whole lot of genuine, and I just wanted to show you how well the resolution has come out of ephemera, of my papers, the hand-dyed ones. There's like 25 in total, and they will be up for $3. Now, even though that is about $1.20 in US dollars, I'm going to put a coupon there as well. And if you would like this pack, you can enter Love Junk in capital letters at the checkout and you get 50% off. And then it's only going to cost you about 60 cents US. Just remember, with our website, make sure that you use the drop down to your own currency, because we don't get nearly as much from the currency exchanges you guys do. You do quite well with our currency. I believe US, for example, is 60 cents on the dollar. So that's pretty much any price that you see in New Zealand dollars, it's 40% off that. That's what the US is. So if you just put the drop down, then you're going to know. Okay, so I have absolutely loved making her. I have not done this much slow stitching before that I've done in the cover, and I just enjoyed it so much. So I will have to do a bit more of it. It's got a semi-soft, oh, hang on a second. That was my son, sorry. Little interruptions, but he's going to spotlight for me to pick up my order, so while I do this, so I can't complain. So I'll just show you the cover. So like I said, it's semi hardcover, meaning it's got lots of layers of fabric and a thinner layer of cardboard in the center, so it will still bend. And I really like this because I love the way that it you can open the journal. So yeah, she wraps around like that, and I'll just show you some of the detail. I made some flowers out of crochet, then slow stitch them on, slow stitch that crochet on. Some beautiful vintage buttons that I found. And then when you open her, that layer has some beautiful vintage lace and an applique. Some vintage buttons. That's, now I don't know how to pronounce it, couching or cooching, where you just sew the fabric to the surface of another fabric. And I've then beaded it and put in some stitches to kind of make it look a bit quilted. Number 19 journal, some embroidery, a brooch that you can take off and do what you want with. And then on her spine she has 4 signatures, but I have just done 3 so that this didn't interfere with another signature, so I've hidden that last one. Just some blue glass beads, some vintage buttons, and that technique of sewing where you've got the 3 layers. I sewed them, you can see it better over here, sewed them all into lines, cut through the layers of fabric on top, and just frayed. So in there is a light blue denim. And then over here, just no shortage of interest on the back either. You've just got some vintage lace, some vintage buttons, some embroidery, French knots and beads, more vintage lace, a little bit of cooching, and in there just a little, some frayed edges and some more tatting flowers that I've sewed in. So lots and lots of hours of work and love gone into her cover. I do have to say that this the way you do her up is actually, might look tricky, but it's actually one of the easiest journal coverings. I'll just show you quickly, that I've done for a closure. There you go, done. So yeah, it's just made out of an old belt buckle. I managed to get a few at an op shop. Op shop is an opportunity shop or a thrift store. Well, that's what we call them in slang in New Zealand, just an op shop. So there you go. So you open her up and you've just got some cotton, some lace, some more lace here, and on her front I used the coin pocket just to make a little pocket there. Now she is absolutely chocker full of ephemera, so hopefully you will enjoy her. Postcard, genuine, old. This one just has one of my etchings in it, and a genuine old piece of ledger paper, 1933. Just for you to sneak out of there and use maybe in one of your own journals. I've just made it so that you can use that pocket and you can use that there as a tuck spot as well. This here, I managed to go to the Salvation opportunity shop, and they had an estate sale of a lady who was obviously into her sewing, and these are floral motif little transfers that you could put on, but this was the cover to it. And I thought it was just gorgeous and so junk journal-y to just use the cover, and it's just an old vintage playing card. Interruptions. Now my cat's coming through the window, so if you hear a meow, it's just Needles saying hello. So you might have seen this. I managed to get a few of them. They are genuine. This one is from date of engagement 1929, date of discharge 1930. Yep, I think they're so neat. I just love the character for sobriety. Very good on you. And this was just from quite a technical book, but I love putting lots of different papers in here. I've put this in a few times because to make clusters out of that, then you could keep one as is, and you could rip up the rest and make them into clusters or something for your own journal. Hopefully you'll give a blue one a go and make the most of those papers. So that's one of the hand-dyed papers there. I felt that they printed really well. I was quite happy, and then you haven't got all the wrinkles either. Next page, just some vintage lace with it made into a little tuck spot. Good luck reading this one. I know you guys like reading them, but that is some small writing. I can't read the stamp. Maybe you guys can. Another etching by me. That one with the eggs. Now you'll know where she's from, Edith Holden, but I had to put it in because of the colours. This piece of fabric came with that bric-a-brac estate lot, and I think this is what those transfers do when you use them, which is quite interesting. But they'd already done it on a piece of fabric, and it's got a beautiful little edge on it, so that's genuinely vintage. And then I've just blanket stitched around the edge, and you've got some nice fibrous textural paper there, some bits and pieces in the pocket. That one's only from, I think, 1970, and then I have just dusted up a very shiny postcard so that you could then use it to put a piece of paper on a journal on the back of. Up there you've just got one of those little sets of keys. Now I have rushed home after work, so I do have blue paint all over my fingers because I've been helping the students with their painting, and I just couldn't get it off in time. So we'll just ignore the fact that I match my journal. Just some writing space there. That's cotton rag paper from the late 1700s, and a little applique. And this is from it's only a book from 1950s, but I took it out of there because it's just it was just matching the journal perfectly, but I have scanned those so that I can use them again, even though the originals are in here. But you'll see that throughout the book. I got 2 folios of that in here. That's from the playing cards that I've used throughout the journal, just the packet, and I just made that into a pocket, obviously. And another old postcard. That one's blank, so you can use it for journaling space. And I've put in a whole lot of real old ephemera as well. That's just advertising in here. So don't, if this one's yours, you don't have to feel bad about pulling them out and using them. Pulling them out, scanning them, I don't know, putting the original back in the journal and ripping this up. I just think they would make such cute little, if you just pulled that out. See, 1906. I'm surprised it even stood up to that. But yeah, you can pull that out, glue it on, and use it to stick it in some little pockets, either the original or just the copy that you make. Just a cluster up there with some writing space. Another one of the papers that you'll find in the set. Just writing space, bit of watercolour, and then some light stamping on coffee tea dyed paper. These are really cool. I've never seen them before. This is from 1936 and this is the original one. You would have seen that I scanned a couple as well because they're just so cool. They're wage salary books, and someone might be able to tell me, this is a bit before my time, these wage and salary stamps that they used, but just the beautiful discoloration around the paper. I know they're not all blue, but I just had to put it in there. Just got some writing space there. Pocket, gel printed paper, just a tag with lots of writing space on it, and an old stereoscope card, which is genuine. More ephemera, just a little tag, and postcard to write on, journal on. That one's from Margaret, and this is a letter from 1939. This is from my stash from Mr. Harry Goodrick. He was officer, and he must have saved every letter his darling wife Rita wrote to him, and this is just one of those letters. She always says, "My dearest darling husband," or "My dearest darling Harry, my dear Harry." I've noticed as I have. So I don't know what the contents of that letter is, but it is there to read at your leisure, and it was blue, so it had to go in the journal. The perfect shade of blue. This one here I have just sewn into the vintage wallpaper, so that I've done some embroidery just to give that a little bit of interest. And that was from the pocket that was lining the jeans, and that is French, genuine. I think that's only from the 1950s though. But it is French paper, and it is there to be used, and it has beautiful advertising on the back. So again, grab it, scan it, put the original back in here, or use it. It's a little pocket there, some writing space, more writing space, and just a little pull out, coffee dyed tuck spot there. I left that one in. It's about turbans and poke bonnets. That's the other side of that gorgeous folio that I pulled out. That's just held on with a safety pin. Just something that you could use throughout the journal. I've tried to put heaps of writing space in here. This is my favourite page. So these all open. That one's got tags in it that you can use. This one's got some labels and some stickers in it that you can use, and this one's got a couple of stamps, and then that opens up and you have more writing space. So 3 pockets, writing space and goodies. And chapter 19. Just some tea coffee dyed stenciled paper in there. The purplish tinge, if you can see that, is just from using a bit of rust dyed water as well. See, these should look, they've come out just like the originals. Just a little tuck spot leaf that I die cut out of a playing card, old postcard from, pretty sure that's from 1905 because it can't be 2005. There you go. Some old sheet music, Bright Eyes and the Purely Adriatic. Over here, cluster. And a journaling card, ATC card, whichever you would like to use it for. Vintage wallpaper that you cannot stick anything to. Found that out the hard way. Another pocket in between those 2 pages there. And then over here, lots more goodies. I love this. Doesn't have a date on it, that one, but it's old. It's one of those genuine glitter greeting cards. That is out of a very old book, and if I'm not mistaken, that should be cotton rag, because when you hold it up to the light, it has the lines going through it. Do not ask me if it's flax or linen or cotton. I am not that good. Another card. Genuine little cigarette card. Genuine little photo. That's not genuine, but you can use it to write on the back of or turn it into a cluster. Put that back out there. See, that's that same paper, so I have sewn 1 piece in, but I think I've also stuffed 2 pieces in as well throughout it so that you could use it. Just a little bead and a key on that tab, some more writing space. That is the genuine cover for that Australian photographic journal. The colour had to go in here for sure, and that was from 1899, September 20th, 1899. It's another letter. See? My very dearest darling Harry. Another letter, and I've just left that as is. That's from a little bit later. That's in 53. So the last one I think I said was from 1939. So it's a good almost 20 years later. And there's another page of that in here as well. Sorry, it's not in order because she wrote it like a book. That's a hidden paper clip with some slow stitching, a little dangle, and that's the back of it. Then you just have some pocket reckoner paper. Again, I really just put these in for interest, but then writing paper, you could also, there we go, just rip them up and use them as ephemera that you can have in your journals. I think I've said this before, but if I was going to buy a journal, I would definitely want just another postcard that I've backed for you to write on. Definitely want a lot of genuine ephemera if I was going to buy a journal, especially with this much detail. So that one just is a tip in, and I've just got a little tag and a genuine cabinet card. I love the back of this one. This one was hard to let go. That's just an envelope. It is a used old envelope. Don't ask me what the date is. Does that say 06? But it's blue, so it's in there. Writing space, genuine ledger paper. Over here, you can undo that if you want to, but there's no need to. Some pretty old flowers that happen to be blue. I believe this was from Rochelle, and I'm going to be careful with it because it is old 1906, and it's only newspaper from Auckland Weekly News. Look at that font, so cool. But again, there to do whatever you want with. And I don't know about you, but I always find belly bands quite loose. And I always feel like I need to secure them with something most of the time, whether that be a paper clip or a little bulldog clip. That is, again, Mr. Harry Goodrick, but that is an email. And good luck reading that guy. Teeny tiny little writing. Bless her, she gets as much in as she possibly could to her husband. He must have had a lot of love there. Would have loved to have gotten some letters that she had got from him. That would have been amazing too. Another piece of genuine old ephemera. That one's from 1925. Just with some really cool advertising. That cross-stitch pattern, really nice paper. That one, number 19, folds out, lots of writing space. Little charm, birdie charm on there. That is a genuine old postcard, but I've stuck it on just as a tuck spot, and that's first day cover. If you want to, you could most definitely take it out of the plastic sleeve, but I just wanted to leave it in there. Blue ledger paper, genuine. Not sure the date on that. It's probably on the other piece. This is from Caroline. That's in French from one of those beautiful magazines, and it's blue. So that's in the book as well. Just a old placemat dresser topper doily. Now I know this is going to get ratty, this piece, but I don't mind. I have designed it to do that, so I've left it long and I haven't trimmed it down on purpose. And that is another one of those salary wage books, but it is blue, a bluer colour, which I thought was quite cool, and it's taller. And I'm sure that date is on there somehow. One was earlier than the other anyway. $11, 3rd of the 4th, 11. Potentially 1911. Just a little cluster up there with a postcard that you can write on. Genuine old vintage. I won't say antique because I'm not entirely sure, but it's definitely over 30 years old. That's another page from that book. I could just stare at that for ages. There's just something about the colours. Early Victorian. 1927. Zebra. That's a pink one for you to write on. I like to put a mix of blank and obviously written on so that you could use them as your journaling spot if they're blank. Just wanted to put that one in there. Thought that was quite cool. It's only from 1980. But it's got flowers on it. And it's got a stamp with a blue flower. Just slow stitch that around the edges onto denim there. Some of that cotton rag paper from the late 1700s book that I got for you to do what you want with. I can't win. Never get through a video without being wanted. The first day cover there. It's alright, it's my family, I love them. It's from a lighting electrical brochure kind of book. Quite cool. Just a little tuck spot there, again with some really cool advertising. That's, just love the colour of this page. It's so cool. It's only from 19, does that say 65? Yeah, 1965. It's still vintage though, very much vintage. Old vintage wallpaper, could write on that. Just some watercolour. That's a that same paper, but I turned it into a pocket and lined it just with a bit of old music paper. And you've got lots of little goodies in there. That's not genuine, it's just a piece of paper to write on. That's from a cute little dictionary that had the tabs of the letters down it, and it was a little tall one, and it's very, very old. That's from a songbook, but I just pulled out some of the advertising because, again, that's really, really cool. And just a page out of a book that had the right colours on it to hide away in this little envelope. And then you just have a current receipt, number 19, page 19, some writing space. And that's the last postcard that I have stopped from being shiny for you to write on. That's the fly jacket from, obviously, this book, Kate Greenway's Language of Flowers. And then I have just put more bits and pieces. Genuine. That one, 1949. That's one of those songbooks. That's the only thing there that's not genuine, which is just some pretty paper to write on. No, it didn't go there. Wondering why that was such a struggle. And here you just have a library card. That is just the envelope, because it was blue. That's 1954. And that, I thought you could fussy cut those flowers out. That's from a children's encyclopedia that I've got. There's some really pretty illustrated flowers on that. I love the paper too. It's slightly thicker and would be perfect to fussy cut. And an old vintage hanky that I've just turned into a pocket there. Go in there. More goodies, vintage wallpaper. That is our Manawatu Bridge. Doesn't look like that anymore. Doesn't have those big arches. Another stereoscope card. And a piece of genuine nature paper for you to use. Writing space, the other part of the letter. Some advertising from, I need to put my glasses on. That's from the 1899, from that photography book. Writing space, just a little cigarette or tea card. Writing space on there if you need it. And just some pretty paper. So you've got that to tuck in there, and then this is a little pocket down there. Over here what we have, another genuine tag, collector's photo card, lower, and some more paper. You have 1, 2, 3 pockets on that one. This is one of my favourite parts, is stuffing the things in the pockets. They're almost done. Now, one of my lovely friends sent this to me, all made, bless her. It's even been stitched on the sewing machine. And that one is not genuine. I think that might be from Nicole, but don't quote me. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you whoever gave it to me. That's not genuine, but I've backed it onto some studio cards. You could turn it into a card or whatever you like. And just a bit of paper to write on. Viewmaster. I haven't copied that. That's genuine. And that is genuine. It is from a birthday book. Quotes birthday book. And just another tag. Vintage wallpaper. This was hard to give away. I love that image on the front, and I haven't even scanned it. That's okay. And there's some of that blue ledger paper, blank on one side. Always good to have a copy of that so that when you're printing digitals you can just chuck that on the back. You've got a vintage little hanky in there so that pocket is usable, and then just some writing space there, and that's her. She was so much fun. I really hope you enjoyed that flip through and that she's something a little bit different than what I usually do. I have to say I really enjoyed that slow stitching and making that textile, and I like this soft, semi-soft cover with the wrap, and I really enjoyed this closure because it gives me a lot of flexibility, and it's not difficult, as you can see, to open or close, and it holds her nice and secure. So as soon as this video airs, she is up and available for adoption on the website. Please, like I said, just make sure that you remember to drop down to your own currency, because everything will seem very, very expensive compared to other journals you've made if you are viewing it in New Zealand dollars. But if something is $1,000 and you put it into US dollars, it's immediately going to drop to $600. So there we go. And don't forget, I'll put that in the description as well. That's available on the site. You just will get a download, and Love Junk, capital letters, first 1,000, and you're going to get that for 50% of $3, $1.50 if you're in New Zealand, or 40 cents, 20 cents, 60 cents off that, 90 cents. And that might not be a lot to everyone, but that will mean an awful lot to me. So I really appreciate those of you who take me up on that offer. Okay, love you all, and I will see you next time. Bye.